Hello and welcome to the Driver's Room. This is the Endurance Championship. Today we're coming from a very wet and damp Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring. This is, as we said, the Endurance Championship. We are with Tier 2 for the final round 8 of Season 3. Let's jump on down to the grid and see how the guys tackled these tricky wet conditions during qualifying. So as we make our way down the grid, we have Mungino in first with wets on the front, intermediates on the rear. Lining up in second, we have Awesome Alex with wets all round. In third, we have TX3 Fabro with wets on the front, intermediates on the rear on his Bugatti. In fourth, we have Sean with intermediates all round. Fifth, we've got JC with wets all round. Sixth, we've got Jammy, wets on the front, intermediates on the rear. In 7th, we've got Craig P with wets all round. In 8th, we've got Grimlock, he's also running wets all round. And in 9th, we've got Berkey Baby with wets all round. So that's the grid for the final round of Season 3. Let's see how the guys get on. When the lights go green and they hit the track in anger. So here we are now, just waiting for the lights to go out and the guys to get underway for the final time this season. Can Mungino keep the lead ahead of the fast Alex, both in Hyundais? They get a great start away from the Bugatti of TX3 Fabro. Alex just pulls in behind and gets a face full of Mungino spray as Mungino runs a little bit wide. That gives Alex the line up the inside, he had the grip. Mungino out on those slippery curbs. That's Mungino down to second, Alex now up into first. Mungino will have a decent run on him up towards the second corner. He just decides to sit behind. As you see, Fabro just giving Mung a little bit of a booty tap. Grim has had a lightning start. He started in 8th, he's up into 4th already. Grim, as we've seen earlier on in the season, does tend to go really well in the wet conditions. See if he can bring out another victory like he did at Tokyo in his GTR. JC is holding station in 5th in the Peugeot. Hopefully the hybrid power of that car doesn't cause him too much bother with the wet conditions. We've got Sean also in a Peugeot. And then myself in 7th. With Jammy behind in the McLaren. Berkey is still at the back in the Alpine. So Alex has managed to keep the lead ahead of Mung going into lap 2. He just runs a little bit wide going through turn 1 there, but keeps the speed up. Alex is a very quick driver. He also does have quite the taste for drifting, so these slippery conditions might suit his driving style very well. As Fabro runs very wide there, that's going to slow him down. Grim's going to try and put the pressure on as he sees Fabro making maybe a mistake or two ahead. He's pulling away now a little bit from JC. Fabro just runs deep again. Oh, JC runs very deep. He's onto the gravel. Oh, it's going to drop him way back as he comes on just. Jammy just manages to get around him. Berkey suits to that mistake there, has dropped JC down to 9th. As he collects Berkey. Going in, let's we'll take a look back and see what happened there. We see JC waiting for Berkey. As per the driver's room etiquette, you force the driver off, you wait for them to come back and take the position back. We're going to jump on board with JC here. You see Berkey come through there. We come in and Berkey just comes over and JC thought she had nowhere to go at that point. 2 into 1 just didn't go that. So Alex still maintaining the lead, but he's not dropping Mungino. Mungino's keeping steady pace behind. fact, they are dropping Fabro a little bit. You see Fabro running a little bit wide through some of the corners. Just look at the spray coming up from the back of these cars. Grim still going well in fourth. Sean trying to get the power down in that Peugeot. Here goes the hybrid power. Jammy's now up to sixth. I must have had a problem somewhere in amongst all that as I cut myself facing the wrong way. Just wait for the guys to pass. And pull out in front of anyone. Let's drop myself down to 8th. JC not too far behind after his incident. Grim has caught right up with... Oh no, sorry, I thought he caught up with Fabro. It's actually Sean caught up with Grim. As he goes for a move up the inside, just runs up very wide. The back end was trying to take the corner before the front end. He gathers it back up, gives Grim back the place, and away on they go. I'd say this being round 8, the final round, a lot of the promotion and relegation positions had already been sorted, so quite a few drivers decided to take this race off. We're down to a depleted grid of just 9 cars breathing the wet of the Red Bull Ring in the Group 1s today. You see Berkey now up to 7th. He took that position from me when I ran wide at turn 2. I think I misjudged my braking point, just ran on. Berkey, of course, one of the members of the M4R racing team, made for racing. Sporting their very famous by now Pepsi livery. Just running wide again, just trying to carry way too much speed for the conditions. So it's JC in the background. He must be copying my driving style. It's not recommended for anybody even watching these videos. Definitely do not copy me. Let's get back with the leaders. Alex just holding off Mangino. Mangino's closed up a little bit now. Tyre wear pretty much even between the two Hyundais. I see Alex just struggling to keep the car just on the curb, nearly touching the gravel. If Mangino could get a decent exit out of these corners, he might make up another little bit of ground on Alex. I just see, as I said, with Alex's driving style, just drifting the car slowly into the turn. We'll take this lap on board with Mangino and the Hyundai. He sets the fastest first sector there by 0.02 of a second. Just a little bit of a slide on entry into the corners. They're coming across some yellow flags. Somebody is having drama up ahead. All seems clear. Can't quite see what the yellow flags are for, and there's nobody on the radar. Maybe just a glitch in the game. Sorry. Oh, Alex just gets a little bit unsteady in the last corner. Mangino trying to get a better drive out, but he was just a little bit unsettled on the curb. So that was a lap around Spielberg with Mangino as he gets right on the back of Alex. Alex maybe catch himself out braking there. Or maybe a little bit of brake checking, who knows? Hashtag blame Alex. Closest right out on him under braking again. I was going to switch away from this view, but Mangino's getting right close to Alex in all the braking zones. It's great to see how close these guys actually get to each other without hitting. It is what the Drivers Room races and Discord and sort of all the leagues that we run are built on. Racing respect for each other. If you fancy just driving into other cars and hitting them off the track, there is the daily section of Gran Turismo. But if you want clean, fair racing with like-minded racers, definitely come along to the Drivers Room. Find us on Discord, or you'll find us on Twitter at Driversroom, and we'll get you in, see what we have to offer with all the different race series happening over different nights, and join in the banter. So we'll hop out from this view with Mangino. It's 2 laps from the 1 lap we were going to do with him. He's definitely got much better feel of the car through turn 1 than Alex at the moment. Once we are 8 laps in. Also running up to turn 2, he has had a much better look on the brakes. Came right up to the back of Alex. Alex just seems to have the better of Mung through the backside of the track, through sectors 2 and 3. Fabro still in 3rd, sort of in a land on his own at the moment, can't catch the 2 Hyundais up front. And he's keeping well enough ahead of Sean and Grim behind. As we see Sean still ahead of Grim. These 2 are having a ding-dong battle. See both sliding under brakes into the 3rd corner. Turn 3, I should say. We got Jamie in 6th, running all by himself. These conditions probably a bit more favourable for Jamie in that McLaren. It is a tyre chewer, so maybe these wet conditions will be helping him out massively with that. Berkey in 7th. He's still being chased down by myself. JC trying to chase down me. All pretty spaced out at the minute. Not much battling going. As you see, Alex has really pulled out ahead of Mangino. Monk does close up under braking, but still he is quite a distance back from him now. So we join the guys now as they start lap 13. Alex still holding station over Monk. He has a 1.2 second lead over him at the moment. As we see Sean jump into the pits, he's the first to blink on 18-minute mark to jump in and get some new boots. Mung has slightly better tyre wear than Alex, might be able to push maybe a lap or 2 more. See how that plays out. Fabro's still in 3rd. He's got more tyre wear than the two in front. That big Bugatti probably leaning on his tyres a bit more than the more lighter and nimble Hyundai. Sean still, he's jumped back out in front of Grim. Took on a bit of fuel. Problem Grim will be having is just when that hybrid kicks in on that Peugeot, it just leaves the Hyundai in the dust. As we see, JC now is ahead of myself and Bergie. Missed a bit of a trick there. Let's see where that happened. Join him as we got the run down towards the final corners, myself ahead of Bergie. Bergie just runs in way too deep. JC taking the racing line, keeps the pressure on. He gets a better exit out, and you see that hybrid kicks in. The Peugeot just breezes past the Alpine. That's JC up to 7th. And he also got myself. So quickly that, oh, I run wide through turn 1, gaffed in the place to JC. So a bit of a switch around from 6th, 7th and 8th. All of us still yet to stop. As Berkey looks up the inside of myself through turn 2. Just managed to keep the Hyundai ahead of him. See, I'll give a quick jump around. I think somebody has lost it on the start finish straight. Oh, it's Jammy actually. Jammy must have lost it through turn 1. He looks like he's having a torrid time now. That tyre wear kicking in at full front damage there on that aero. Unfortunately in tier 2 they did not run the heavy damage model, so that's now disappeared for him. Alex is still in the lead, followed by Mung. Fabro's still in 3rd, but he's being caught now by... He's not. I was going to say he's being caught by Sean. I just think Fabro has lapped the car. Probably Giammi. Sean breaking away a little bit from Grim. JC has left myself and Berkey, as we've been squabbling further behind. I see Berkey is now ahead as we head up to turn 2. Well, I look up the inside. Yep, late on the brakes, way too late on the brakes. Luckily Berkey seen it coming and got himself out of the way. Probably broke out a dry braking point rather than a wet, which you need to just increase your braking point a little bit further down the track than you would in the dry braking earlier, which will get you slowed down in the slippery conditions. Jamie is still going those rear tyres. Maybe starting to feel a little bit touchy as, oh, he brakes very late there. Really struggling a bit now, Jamie. These two are definitely not struggling. Looks like they're out for a Sunday drive. Grim is just on his own now. Berkey now just pulling away from me. Using the power of that Alpine up that long straight, but he's at a very slow exit out of turn 2, which I've had a great exit and just powered past him. Be running a little bit deep there for Berkey. As now I'm gonna run a little bit deep into turn 3. Not really being as smooth as we need to at the back here. but it's given us some overtaking moments. I think I just had a moment there, but you had to avoid it. As we come down on the start finish straight, just building up a bit of a lead over Bergie. He will be in the slipstream though, which will help him stay with and maybe get past heading up towards turn 2 if he gets a decent exit out of turn 1, which it looks like he has. He's a bit too far back just this time round. The skateboard will come back again. As you see, I've just run completely wide again. I'm breaking myself yet again. I'll maybe get these braking points down by the 59th minute. So we've not got much happening here, folks. The field is pretty spread out, and with a light field, unfortunately, that is gonna happen. Alex just slides it through turn 3. Magino now with the fastest lap of 1:27.8. Just seeing a lot of Hyundais in the field. They seem to be the car of choice in Season 3. Season 2 they started to get popular. Season 3 quite a few drivers were driving the Hyundai. See Berkey dives into the pits. Will I follow or carry on? I've carried on. That should get me past Berkey back up into 7th. So yeah, a lot of people driving these Hyundais. They're quite nimble car. They can be a little bit skittish at times, but in this sort of weather, being 4-wheel drive, they are very good with people knowing that this race could have the possibility of being wet, which it is. It probably played into the thought process of taking the 4-wheel drive Hyundai. Not many people in the Bugatti. It's you can hear it no matter where it is on the track, thundering around, the big throaty roar of it. Fabro's the only one in Tier 2, I think, using it. Sean in the Peugeot. There's a few of them earlier on in the year, but a couple of them have petered off. It's a good car. It's big. I'd call it the aircraft carrier, but that hybrid is insane on it. You hit 100 miles an hour, that whole hybrid system deploys, giving you a massive boost. I did drive it in Season 1, I just didn't quite find that. I always felt it just felt too big for me. I always felt like it was trying to wobble around the place. Just wanted something a little bit more nimble, a little bit more pointier, which I found in the Hyundai. Grim also in the Hyundai. JC is in the Peugeot. And myself in the Hyundai with the fantastic Milner Junior team livery made by Kimaru. Must say it does look very nice. And then you got Berkey in the Alpine, and not many people using the Alpine. It is a quick car in a straight line, but can be a little bit difficult to get through the twisty sections. And then we have Jamie in the McLaren. Even less people using the McLaren. The McLaren, so I've been told by people, I've never driven it myself. I think talking to Jamie and a few of the others from maybe I think it was Tier 1 using it at the time. Car is insanely quick, but also insanely quick at destroying the rubber on the wheels. we're all still as you were. Fabro quite a bit back from them. I think the leaders just maybe went past myself and Bergie. They did, yeah. You see me running wide and Bergie trying to get the power down to get up past, and he's going to up the straight. Unfortunately, this hasn't been my greatest point, breaking point into this turn. I managed to keep it that time by staying behind him. And another better exit out of turn 2. Just that four-wheel drive system just seems to give me a much better launch out of that corner. Get the car turned in and out than Berkey is able to in the Alpine, unfortunately for him. But he does seem to be better in a few of the other areas. There's a very cat and mouse between me and Berkey at the moment. So we're now approaching the halfway mark of the race. And it's going to be 20 laps in. See, when I get ahead of Bergie, I just can't pull away fully. It's about 2 car lengths between us. Because he knows I'll make a mistake, but it looks like I am diving into the pits while bouncing off the walls. And he continues. So that's the undercut for Bergie. He pitted before me. Remember, he's been in and out. He's on the intermediates. I was on the full wet. Taking on a bit of fuel, a full wet again, but looks it. So that has dropped me way back from Bergie now. A lot of work to do. JC on a bit of a race on his own now. Grim is also on his own. Sean is on his own. Fabro's on his own. These two. Oh, and Mungino is ahead of Alex. We've missed it. Let's find out where that happens. We're on board of Mung just coming out of turn 2 down the straight turn towards turn 3. He's in the slipstream of Alex. Alex just gets a twitch as he gets on the brakes. Mung's going to take a little look up the inside, but Alex runs very wide, gets onto the gravel, and the curb can't get the power down. They are side by side running through turn 5, I think it is listed as, and that is Mung through and past. Just a slight mistake on the brake going into turn 3. Unsettled Alex's car, put him wide on the exit, and Mung took the opportunity, and he is up into first. So that's Mung now into the lead. Going to be looking at breaking away from Alex now as they go through to start the 21st lap, and we reach the halfway point of the race. Now for these drivers stop, I see myself in the back gear now in 8th place, jumping in to the pits. Mungino's very good on his tyres, so he'll be taking these quite far into the race. See, not much wear. See, Alex is just in the slipstream, just can't get close enough through turn 2. Alex got slightly more wear on his front left tyre. Down towards turn 3, Alex just slowing the car down, so I can't speak, using the curb there just to help slow the car. We got Fabro still in 3rd on his own, catching some lap traffic ahead. Sean a bit further back and forth. Grim really on his own in no man's land in 5th. JC in 6th, but diving into the pits, so that's gonna won't actually promote Berkey. He's still a long way back as well. Myself in 8th after my stop, and Jamie in 9th. As we see, Alex is jumping into the pits. He has pulled the trigger first. He's pitting now on lap 20 and a lap 21 for him. Fabro also following him in behind. So that gives Mung a chance now to break away. Let's see how big a gap he can pull on Alex. As you see Alex leaving the pit lane there. Mung sets the fastest first sector, trying to really hammer home this advantage. We'll just take a quick look at the interval between them. 17.7. If Mung can maintain this for a few laps, he should be able to come back out in the lead. Just depends on how far he wants to take these tyres on fuel. Alex out with a fresh set of wets. Fabro the same. Fabro now has Sean in close company, so he could come under pressure from Sean, and Sean pitted not long before that. You see Sean just wrestling the Peugeot through turn 3. Just a bit of a four-wheel slide in the wet conditions. Grim still just motoring by himself. JC catching some lap traffic. Berkey just waiting there to get the power down. Didn't want to slam the accelerator down while on the curb. Myself in 8th there. Got Fabro catching behind. Jammy with a brand new set of wets on his McLaren. As we've said earlier on, that McLaren is a blisteringly fast car, but it's very difficult to control. It eats those tyres, which is probably not the best car to have in these wet conditions. I must say it is a fantastic looking car as well. And Jammy's IQ Options livery there looking very nice on it. So back to the front, Mung just stretching it. He's just lapped JC. Very consistent over the last few laps, all in the 128s. He's gonna go around again. So looks like he's gonna maybe take this as far as he can push that fuel and tyres. See Alex just squirming, trying to put the power down, trying to regain back up towards Mung. Oh, what he says he is catching him. He scored him 3 seconds. See Alex there doing a 126, 127 that lap, so you know he is lapping faster than Mung. Mung should be thinking, if he can see that lap delta coming down between the two of them, that he should be really thinking of jumping in the pits, as Alex is just going to keep clawing away at that time with the fresher tyres. Fabro just in a little mini race by himself. He's got Sean catching him, so we could get some action between these two. Just depends on how that big Veyron behaves now it's on its fresh tyres. Sean does have the advantage of having the hybrid system in the Peugeot, so see how he does with that. They've both lapped myself in the background there. So we're at the stage of the race where nothing much happens. They've all settled into the pit strategy, some still not carried out their pit stop. But the field is extremely spread, with the light numbers unfortunately we've had enter the race today. Oh, see my run extremely wide there. The brake pedal has to be pressed before the corner, Craig. As I was saying earlier on, with this being the final round now, most of the promotions already sorted out, and the relegations. Most people have decided they didn't want to play in the wet, so we're down to 9 runners. Which unfortunately doesn't make for the most exciting videos in the world. See Alex just sliding the car there. Jamie's trying to get out of his way and ghosting. Very well played by Jamie. So this man, Mangino, out in the lead, controlling the race at the current moment. Still hasn't pitted yet. He is going round again. Alex now has that time down to, he's holding at 14 seconds, and he's actually maybe lost a few tenths there to Mung over that lap. Let's see how that plays out. And we'll jump ahead a few laps here. Nothing much is happening on track at the moment. So as we watch Mung start his lap 30, he's still in the lead, holding a 15.5 second gap now. He's extended his gap over Alex slightly over the last few laps there that we've jumped ahead of. His tyres looking a little bit worse for the wear now on the front. You just see there, he's just struggling for front end grip to get it to slow down and turn in. Tyres can't do as much as he's asking. Fuel's also getting low, so we'll expect to see him in soon. Alex just burning off some penalty there. He's now just at the other end of that straight across the top. Got Fabro still in third. Mr. Sean has dropped away back off. He's actually started binning the pits because he's back behind myself again. Probably going to frustrate him being back behind a back marker. We see Grim still having a race pretty much all of his own. JC in sixth, he is getting caught by Alex. Berkey still in seventh. Still trucking along in eighth. Jamie has retired for the session. He's had enough of wrestling that McLaren around this track in the wet. With Mung, he's pushing it right to the limit. He's going to take his fuel down to pretty much zero. See what the gap is now. He has to be coming in this time round. 14.3, so if we left him on, I think he dropped to 15.2 when we left the timings last time, so he's lost about a second to Alex in that gap. Alex has also pulled a second out on Fabro. Look at the gaps there, there's just nobody is close to anybody. Well, from maybe JC is probably the closest person. He's 3 seconds behind Grim at the moment. He just could have done with a few more guys out on track today, but hey, I won't harp on about it, even though I am. So if any of you want to get involved in the racing series that we run at the Driversroom, this being one of them, the Driversroom Endurance Championship, we also have Sunday leagues, we have Team Festival and Speed event. City Sprint Saturdays, we have, as we see, Mungino is jumping into the pits. He's pulled the trigger. Where is Alex? Alex is 13.9 seconds behind him. He is just coming down the penultimate corner. I think he's definitely going to jump him as he rounds the last corner. He's definitely made the undercut work as he's about to lap JC. And also retake the lead of the race. You see Mungino actually is coming out the pitch. You can see him on the right hand side there. This is going to be extremely tight. JC runs wide. Alex runs very wide, but seems to straighten the car up to run that way, and he is past both of them. Maybe a little bit of a suspect move there, so he gets a 1.5 second penalty. It looked to me like he straight lined out to get the run, but the stewards may look at that later as we see him out wide again. Maybe he's found a grippy section of the track out wide, because he's pulled some distance away from the guys behind there. Alex is a very quick driver, and I'm not by any means saying that he is a devious driver, but did look a little bit suspect there. We'll keep an eye on him, see how he gets on now through these few laps. As he's going to look to break away from Mangino. Mangino will be trying to get those intermediates into temperature. So he's on the intermediates, and Alex is on the slightly worn front. He's got wet. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out, the two compounds. The track isn't, you know, it's not as wet as probably the wettest setting, but it isn't dry or damp. See, there's a few dry patches, but where it's wet, it is definitely wet. To see Mangino just poking his nose out, saying Alex, he stays close, is right up through the first corner. Alex runs wide again, coming out of turn one. Another 0.5 penalty. The way we do penalties in the driver's room is you just burn them off. You get a clean race bonus in tier 2 and tier 3 for not getting any penalties through the race. So Alex is definitely not getting a clean race bonus, but in some other series they do make drivers actually slow down off the racing line to take their penalties. If that was in effect, Mangino would be back in the lead right now. This is shaping up to be a great battle as we're just 12 minutes left in this race, and these two are going to fight it out for the rest of the race. We'll take a quick run through the grid to see if anybody else is going to be developing into battles. So we've got Awesome Alex holding off Mangino in first and second. Fabro is in third. He's got a big gap back to Sean, who's got a big gap back to Grim. JC is a lot further back, and Berkey even further back from there, and myself even further back. So we have literally no battles apart from these two at the front, so we will stick with these two. Mangino just having a look up the inside there. Alex runs wide again. I don't think, just look how much distance he pulls out with that line. We'll just double check there. He's on another 1.5 second penalty. We'll just jump back and see if there was any contact there, just in case I'm being a little bit harsh on Alex. Not that I really care. Hashtag blame Alex. He knows I'm only joking, but we'll check back and see if there was any contact between the two. So with them, as they just cross the start finish line, Alex just running a little bit sketchy there onto the grass. Mung gets a better run. There's no contact. Alex straight into the car, runs very wide and just plants the throttle. And Mangino keeps the car on the track and has to wait to put the throttle in. There's no contact. Alex just run wide there, trying to fight Mung through the corner, and pulled out a massive gap over him. Not really see him running wide there again. It's not really what I want to be seeing. I want to see guys keeping it on track at all times if they can, especially the front runners. So we're back with them now as they exit turn 3, heading on down towards turn 4 and 5. Alex still burning off that penalty he picked up there through turn 1. And just being slightly held up by Grim, that's allowing Mangino to pull back up behind Alex. We'll see Alex now, he's up alongside and past into turn 1. Into turn 1, into the penultimate corner. Down towards the last corner, Mangino also slides through. He's close right up there through the exit of the last corner. Can he get a good run down now towards turn 1 and get the job done on Alex? He was so close last time around, but Alex managed to pull away a bit further this time. Mung looked to have a much better launch, but see, Alex holds a much better line that time through. Maybe the pressure was just getting to the young Brummy. So we'll see if Mung can tip the scales on the pressure and get past. Just see how he's getting a big power slide on there. Just clipping a little bit too much of the sausage through the hairpin. These two guys are absolutely fighting tooth and nail now for the end of this race. We got 9 minutes left. Mung is carrying less fuel than Alex, so Alex is going to have carrying a little bit more weight. He's got more wear on his tires as Mung stopped a lot later. So looking at the situation at the moment, it is an advantage Mungino, you'd say, but it's okay having the advantage. You have to make that advantage pay and get past, and that's a lot easier said than done. Take it from me, I'm an 8th in this race. So we're heading on to lap 36 with the fellas. 8 minutes left of this hour-long endurance race, and to be honest, to be this far into an hour-long race and be this close, they're extremely well matched. As Alex picks up another 0.5 second penalty. Excuse me, he just likes flirting with those track limits. He just power slide through the hairpin and runs extremely wide. But it must just be where he's out that wide, he gets to straighten the car up so much quicker and is able to just hold Mungino off. Normally in a dry race, the driver who's held it on the track would probably get past or be even closer, maybe side by side when the other car rejoins the track. Mung's just having to wait that little bit longer, being in the wet conditions, to get the power down. Mung just runs a little bit deep there, just unsettles the car, but he gathers it back up. Manages to hold, loses a little bit, probably a 10th or 2 just back from Alex there, but he's not losing too much, which is the main. Alex just gets a big moment there through the last corner, runs wide on the exit, picks up another 0.5 second penalty. It's a good job his points don't go on your license, because he would have lost it by now, as Mung's extremely close there through turn 1. Probably the closest he's been for a long while now on the long run up the hill to turn 2. Can he make a move up the inside into the hairpin? As you see him, he dives to the inside. He's having a look. Can he get through? Oh, Alex just ghosted there because of the penalty and unghosted in front of Mung. Mung had to back out slightly. Alex takes that wide line again, just off the track, and pulls away. So less than 6 minutes to go. It's anybody's guess who's going to take the final win for Season 3 in Tier 2. Alex is certain of promotion. He's heading to Tier 1 for Season 4. Mungino, I'm pretty sure, is in the promotion places, but he abstains from promotion. He'll be staying in Tier 2. Not like in the heavy damage that is run in Tier 1, which is each to their own. Mung is definitely, he is able to stay a lot closer now over these past few laps. You see Alex is starting to feel the pressure again, running wide through turn 1. Mung tucked up right behind him again as we head up towards turn 2. Something has to give sooner or later. Mung's going to make this pressure pay, or he's just going to kick himself after the race, as he's definitely, I think, got Alex on the ropes. As Alex runs wide again, you can just see he runs wide. He's just able to pull away a little bit there. Picks up another 0.5 second penalty for his troubles. You can just see Mung's not sure on where to place the car there, just with the way Gran Turismo works with the ghosting, unsure where Alex is going to unghost. Has to hold off a little bit. The car will ghost when it's burning off penalty. Maybe another reason why, I mean, in my view, I would prefer it if we did like a lot of the other leagues, and you pick up a penalty, you move over off the racing line and serve that penalty just like you would in an FIA or a daily with the penalty zones, except these will just be on the next straight after you get that penalty, like a lot of leagues do. It's so much better for the racing. It stops excessive corner cutting, in my view. As we see Alex run very wide again, and seems to be his line now on turn 1. There's another 0.5 second penalty. You know, just if we run that model, he picks up the fastest first sector. If we run that model of serving in penalties, I'm pretty sure Alex would have to change his driving style the way he's going through turn 1, otherwise he would be losing heaps of time to Mungino and probably coming under pressure from Fabro behind. But that's just my view. Alex is probably fuming watching this right now. Never mind, Alex. You're in tier 1, don't worry about it. So we're now coming towards the final 2 minutes of this race, so it'll be the final 2 laps of the race. Mung is really starting to run out of time to make this pressure pay. He's not been able to get past Alex. We'll hop on board with him here as he's very close out of the final corner. And we'll run this lap with him, see if he can make it pay on this lap. Look at the spray coming up from the back of Alex's car. Just see Alex getting a little bit squirrely, and that time there was some contact. Alex just a little bit squirrely on the brake heading into the corner, had to slow down a bit more to get out of the car up, and Mung wasn't expecting it, and it just clouded the back of him. But both pointing in the right direction and on the track, so no harm there. Alex was running wide there with a little bit of power slide. Very tricky corner to get out of sometimes, especially in the wet. So Alex has picked up another 0.5 second penalty from just running wide out of turn 2. Look how close Mung is now. He's really putting pressure on Alex. He's getting nearly up alongside him as Alex goes. See how just unnerving it is. You don't know where the other car is going. If Alex wasn't ghosting there, they probably would have gone side by side around that corner, but Mung just choosing discretion is the better choice in that situation. Backs off slightly just to not cause an incident between the two. It's just, he's getting a much better run through those last 2 corners. He's right on the gearbox of Alex now, really putting pressure on him. See myself up ahead. He gets a better run through turn 1. Alex runs very wide, but he had to stay out of the power this time. This allows Mung to get up alongside, very close to nearly touching. I think they did bang wheels there. So Mung gets ahead of Alex heading into turn 2. So Mung just runs a little bit wide, and Alex takes that very wide line again, which just got him back ahead of Mung for a split second, but Mung has retaken the lead. That's Mung up into first. He's finally made that pressure tell, and we're on the final lap. What a time to make the move. We timed it to perfection by Mung. He's now up into first. We see Sean has crossed the line in 4th. As long as I don't get involved here and mess up this final lap for these two. Been a great race between the two of them, evenly matched over the whole race length, and equal machinery as well. So just a few tire choices and a little bit of strategy has played out to give Mung the win in the final round of season 3 of the Drivers Room Endurance Championship. As we see, Berkey has crossed the line in 7th. I'm going to cross the line in 8th, just ahead of these guys, and oh, there I am actually. Mungino takes the win. Awesome, Alex. Handbrakes across the front of my car to come home in 2nd. We've got Fabro coming home in 3rd. Grim coming home in 5th. JC coming home in 6th. So thanks very much for joining us in the Endurance Championship for Season 3. Join us next time for Season 4.